Good morning, folks. So, Happy New Year. It's 2026. And I figured I would just hop on a little video here and kind of let you know where I'm at. And I'll offer a little encouragement for the new year. So, when you set a goal, sometimes it doesn't freaking happen. I swore up and down this winter that I would be more consistent about posting YouTube videos and, getting some more content out there and such, and life kind of just derailed, so it happens. Unfortunately, my cat, she ended up having kidney disease, and unfortunately it just doesn't present in cats until it's too late, and we had to put her down. So that was a really hard blow for both me and my husband, and it just completely derailed all the plans I had for doing more things online, getting more herbalism content out there. And it's one of those situations where for both of us it hit us hard. She was a member of the family, and when something like that happens, especially as an herbalist, you have this feeling of, like, I should have done something, I should have known what to do, I should have fixed it, I should have seen, it's just all these things in your head that happen. And that happened to both of us, so we kind of just took some time to reset and grieve. Like, we just had to go through it, sometimes you just gotta go through the damn thing. And so we're finally kind of getting back to things. Now that the new year's here, I am feeling a little better, seeing that the light of day kind of come back into our lives. It hit right at that time too, when it's not so much the weather of winter that affects me as the light, because I go to work and it's dark, and then I come home and it's pitch black. So it's one of those things where it just kind of messes with my brain anyway, on top of everything else. So, now that the light is finally returning, happy solstice, kind of my energy is coming back a little bit too. And this is that time of year when everyone's looking into, goal setting and resolutions and how to change your habits and stick to it. So I've done a little research myself, just to see what I can do to make it more likely that I will actually complete my goals this year. And I did complete a lot of my goals last year. It's just YouTube is that thing that I don't really want to do. And so I put it off, and that's the one I'm most likely to not get done. Did a lot of art, did a lot of, herbalism stuff, gathered a lot of plants, and made medicines, all these things. Like, those were things that did happen. I even paid off my college loans. So, yay. But, there's some of the stuff that goes along with owning a business and starting a business and wanting to do these things. Marketing is one of them, and creating content, educating people, and YouTube and Instagram, Reels, videos, all those things is one of the big key things that goes into that, and it's the least likely that I accomplish that. So I'm gonna try and work on that this year. And one of the things I'm trying to do is figure out new templates to do for YouTube, maybe do them with less of my face on there, because there's mornings I show up, haven't done all my makeup, and I want to say I don't care, but sometimes I do. I want to clean my trailer before I ever post anything. I want to make it perfect, and I want to look good, all these things. And it's just so much of this, prep work to get to where I feel confident being on camera. And there's sometimes where, today, I'm just I just have to do the damn thing. And even if it's not perfect, even if I haven't edited anything about this video, if it's just me talking into a camera about goals that I have or haven't accomplished, and so that's where part of what I've been reading and such is about, just even in the smallest ways, making just the tiniest little changes, working with imperfection and just going forward with it, regardless of how you're feeling about it. It kind of builds that habit, that consistency, and consistency is the key factor when it comes to doing anything and making sure those goals and those habits actually stick. So I'm trying to not only say that to people, but also embody it for myself. And it's difficult. It's really freaking difficult. So I'm working on it. I'm working on going with the imperfections and just being present, showing up. That's the key factor. To start is to just be there, be in the room, do the thing. And of course everyone's posting about, starting those resolutions and goals and habits and all these things. But one of the other things I read that is actually pretty helpful and has helped me as already is what's called habit stacking. So that's where you take a habit that you already do, cooking dinner, brushing your teeth, something like that, and attaching a habit along with it, that you want to accomplish. So stretching before you brush your teeth or after, or lifting a little bit of weights before you cook dinner or while you're cooking dinner, so it takes that neural pathway in your brain that you've already established and just uses that pathway to create a new one, and where they call it neuroplasticity, and it's usually these kind of patterns in your brain are in the basal ganglia, which is kind of in the center of your brain, and habits are difficult to both start and stop because in your brain there's these pathways of least resistance that you're used to doing, and so it's kind of an energy conservation type of thing that the brain does. And so if you can kind of hack that system by applying new habits along with existing habits, you're using those connections that have already been established. And so it's very helpful for starting new things. So I'm kind of trying to do that myself, get some more content out this year, specifically more video content, because that seems to be the most watched, that gets the most interactions and gets out there the most, because these platforms and algorithms like to see more of the same stuff that they see working. So unfortunately, as much as I would only like to post photos and photos of my art and photos of herbs, photos don't really get that message out to the world. And that's where I'm trying to really teach people how to incorporate herbs in their life, incorporate these new patterns, these new habits, these new ways of looking at health to benefit people, because I've seen it in my life. I've seen it work. So has my husband for his entire life. And we know it does work. So we're trying to get that message out to people. And whether or not you buy our products, through our website, which is wildbloodherbs.bigcartel.com, whether or not you buy from us, or if you just start using herbs in your life specifically and just being curious about them and looking at them and seeing them in nature and just getting out in nature, that is the thing that will revolutionize your health in a lot of ways. We've experienced it, we've seen it work for other people too, and it's worth it. It's so worth it. And that's where if you're trying to start a new health regimen this year or going forward with new healthy habits or diets or things like that, you don't dismiss the power of nature. Just being in nature. Go for a walk in nature. And, learn a plant or two that you find in your local bioregion and learn how it could benefit your health. And either make your own or, get it from a herbalist that can help out, and that the changes you will see are more subtle, for sure. Herbalism does not work super fast like pharmaceuticals, but it's a bigger compounding effect over time. And it's like these little gaps in our nutrition that we just don't get from our food these days. That we're so lacking in all these little micro things that connect us to the earth, as well as our core selves, the nature of our being, as animals, as, things that have evolved from nature too. And that's where getting back to your health should also look like getting back to nature. So that's kind of just my little fast video this morning. Starting my goals by just trying to show up and let you know more about herbs as much as I can. I hope you are all having a wonderful new year. You can lock in, do the big changes, but don't dismiss the little changes. Nature shows us that the small growth is the thing that, takes that seedling up to a big, huge tree. So be consistent, start with small changes, and don't get down on yourself. You got this. All right. Happy New Year and good luck, guys.